All right, you get ready because today we're diving into the world of AI agents. We're going way beyond simple chatbots now. This is about AI that can actually DO things for you online.
It's true. Yeah, just imagine having a digital assistant that can book your tables, buy your groceries, find tickets, all while you're focusing on other things. That's the potential here.
And today we're going to take a deep dive into OpenAI's announcement of their very first AI agent called Operator. And this is really cutting-edge stuff.
It is. OpenAI is calling it an early research preview, so it's still under development, but it can already do some pretty amazing things. Like in their demos, they showed Operator booking a restaurant table in San Francisco, ordering groceries from a shopping list that was uploaded, finding tickets to a Warriors game, even searching for tennis coaches and house cleaners online.
Hold on. This AI is using websites like a real person. That's wild.
Exactly. It uses a web browser in the cloud. And it's been trained to interact with websites just like you or I would, no special programming needed. And get this, it can even understand what it's seeing on the screen, thanks to GPT-4's vision capabilities.
GPT-4. That's the brains behind ChatGPT, right? So it's not just about language anymore. It can actually see and understand what's happening on a computer screen.
Yeah, precisely. So they've taken GPT-4 and built a new AI model on top of it called KUA, which stands for Computer Using Agent. And KUA is designed to use a computer just like we do, understand the visual elements of a website, and figure out how to get things done.
Okay, so it's like teaching a computer to see the world through our eyes
Mhm.
and then use its smarts to navigate it. What I'm curious about is how does it actually work? Does it read our minds or something?
Not quite mind reading,
No.
but it is pretty impressive. Think of it this way. You give Operator a goal, and it uses its knowledge of language and visuals to figure out how to achieve that goal on a website, just like you would. And it can even provide these summaries of its thought process so you can see how it's making decisions.
So it's like it's constantly thinking, okay, I need to click this button, fill out this form, bam, mission accomplished. That's incredible.
Yeah. And what's really important here is the level of control that OpenAI has built in. So there's a take control feature that lets you jump in and interact with the browser directly anytime you want. Plus, Operator will double check with you before it does anything that has any real world impact, like placing an order or booking a ticket.
So it's not just going rogue and making decisions without my consent. Phew, that makes me feel a lot better.
Right. OpenAI has clearly thought a lot about the safety and ethical implications of this technology. They've also implemented things like a prompt injection monitor, which makes sure that websites aren't trying to trick Operator into doing something it shouldn't.
That's reassuring. But let's be real for a second. This is bleeding edge tech. It's bound to make mistakes, right? I mean, how reliable is it really?
Of course. OpenAI has been very upfront about that, emphasizing that Operator is an early research preview. And it will make mistakes. They've even shared these benchmarks that show how it stacks up against human performance. And while it's scoring higher than other AI systems out there, there's definitely room for improvement. Like, for example, in a benchmark called Web Arena, which measures how well AI can navigate websites, Kus scored 58.1%, and that's pretty good. But it's still below human performance.
So it's not perfect, but it's getting there.
Yeah,
It's mind-blowing to think that an AI can do this at all.
it really is. And remember, this is just the beginning. This technology is evolving at an incredible pace. Who knows what AI agents will be capable of in a few years?
Okay, so we've seen what Operator can do, and we've seen how it works, but what does this all actually mean? This feels like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it does feel like we're stepping into the future. And you're right to ask what it all means. I mean, the implications of this technology are huge. Just imagine being able to offload all of those tedious online tasks to an AI. Think about how much time and energy you could save.
Right. No more spending hours comparing prices or hunting down the best deals. Operator could handle all that for me.
Exactly. It's about freeing up our time and mental energy so we can focus on the things that require more creativity, more strategy, or human interaction, things that AI isn't so good at yet.
But couldn't that also mean that some jobs become obsolete? Like if AI can handle tasks that humans used to do, what happens to those people?
That's a really valid concern, and it's a conversation we need to be having for sure. But it's also important to remember that technology has always disrupted the job market. New technologies create new opportunities too. Think about the people who will be needed to design, build, manage, and train these AI agents.
So it's not necessarily about AI taking over jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but about AI changing the types of jobs that are available.
Precisely. It's about adapting and evolving alongside the technology. And this isn't just about convenience, it's a potential shift in the entire way we work and interact with the digital world.
It makes you wonder what other applications could be built using this technology. I mean, if Operator can handle things like booking reservations and ordering groceries, what else is possible?
Well, the possibilities are pretty much endless. I mean, OpenAI has announced that Operator will be available through their API, which means that developers will be able to build all sorts of new applications on top of it. So imagine AI agents that can help you manage your finances, schedule appointments, even create personalized learning experiences.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. From ordering pizza to managing finances, it feels like we're on the verge of a massive shift in how we interact with technology.
We are, and it's exciting, but it's also important to approach this new frontier with caution and thoughtfulness.
No.
We need to ensure that these powerful tools are developed and used responsibly. The future of AI is ultimately in our hands.
Yeah, it's exciting, but it's also a little bit daunting, right? I mean, we're talking about AI that can act on our behalf in the digital world. That's a huge responsibility.
It is a huge responsibility, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations now. While the technology is still in these early stages, we need to be thinking critically about the potential impact, both the positive and the negative.
Absolutely. So what are some of the big unknowns when it comes to AI agents? What are the things that we should be keeping an eye on as this technology develops?
Well, one of the biggest questions is just how quickly this technology is going to advance. I mean, we've seen incredible progress in AI just in the past few years, and there's no reason to think that that pace is going to slow down. In fact, it's likely to accelerate.
So we could be talking about AI agents that are far more capable than Operator in just a few years. What does that mean for us? How do we prepare for a world where AI is so deeply integrated into our lives?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And there are no easy answers. But I think the key is to stay informed, to stay engaged, and stay curious. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something that we're actively shaping through the choices that we make and the actions that we take.
So what can you do to be a part of this conversation? What can you do to make sure that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone?
Well, first and foremost, stay curious. Keep learning about AI, explore different perspectives, and engage in these thoughtful discussions about the implications. The more we understand about this technology, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the changes that it brings.
And don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Challenge assumptions, think critically, and demand transparency from the companies that are developing these technologies. Remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool that can be used for good or for ill, it's up to us to make sure it's used wisely. Well, there you have it, deep dive into the world of AI agents and a sneak peek at what the future may hold. It's going to be a wild ride for sure. So buckle up and stay tuned because this is just the beginning.